ló jẹ wá lógún. Ìdí ẹ̀rẹ́ táwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ajìjàgbara lágbàáyé fún ìdásílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀ka ti orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà àtàgbègbè ẹ̀ lábẹ́ àkóso àti ìdarí Emeritus and Professor Banji Akintoye, leader of Yoruba land and Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà worldwide àtàwọn ikọ̀ wọn tí wọ́n fi ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìwọ́de ńlá ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta 3 days marathon mega rally in Washington DC lórílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà, èyí tí yóò wáyé ní ọgbọ̀njọ́ oṣù kẹsàn-án títí di ọjọ́ kejì oṣù kẹwàá ọdún yìí 38 September to 2nd October 2021. Bí àwọn àlàkalẹ̀ ìwọ́de wọn ṣe lọ nìyí o. Thursday ọgbọ̀njọ́ oṣù kẹsàn-án September 38 British Embassy 3100 Massachusetts Avenue Washington DC aago mẹ́sàn-án òwúrọ̀ sí méjì ọ̀sán. Bàbá ti kúrò ń bẹ̀ lábalẹ̀ sílé funfun báláwo White House 70 SC New York Avenue Washington DC. Bọ́bá wa dọjọ́ Friday ọjọ́ kẹ̀ní oṣù kẹwàá láwùgbéra láti White House sí Capitol Hill Senate aago mọ́kànlá òwúrọ̀ sí mẹ́ta ọ̀sán. Ọjọ́ Sátidé ọjọ́ kejì White House náà láwọn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ táwọn sì parí ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ títí di ọwọ́ alẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbọ́ kéde yìí ní ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa o. Torọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni, gbogbo wa ló sì kàn. Gbogbo yín là ń retí o. Ẹ má gbàgbé o, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń bọ̀ aṣọ dúdú ni ẹ wọ̀ o láti fi ẹ̀hónú wa hàn pé òmìnira lé Oòduà la fẹ́. Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa alága Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally Tajudeen O Adéjàmíù akọ̀wé Alhaji Nunu Banjo Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally Washington DC chapter coordinator tàbí ààrẹ Almaroof ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin Òjò pàṣẹ Kẹrẹmọdé ọmọ Àtìbà tó jẹ́ regional coordinator for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally. Fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ tàbí ìrànwọ́ owó tàbí ṣíṣe onígbàwọ́ ẹ pè àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí +1 215 869 2966 tàbí +1 803 846 1116 tàbí +1 202 255 6079. ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa lórí wẹ́bsáìtì wa www.megarally.org. ẹ má gbàgbé o 3-day marathon mega rally eléyìí tí ó máa wáyé ní Washington DC September 38 to October 2nd 2021. ètò ìpolongo yìí máa ṣeré bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kì í ṣàwàdà torí ó lọ́wọ́ àwọn nínà àti gbogbo ẹ̀yà Ìgbò tó fi máa ẹ̀yà Ìjọ. Kódà àwọn middle belt gan ògbẹ́yìn Niger Delta gan fọwọ́ sí i tó fi máa gbogbo àwọn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ìjàngbara àti ìdálẹ̀ Yorùbá. ìyẹn all self-determination group and media in diaspora. ètò ìpolongo yìí ṣeré o torí pé bàbá wa Professor Banji Akintoye àwọn náà máa wà níkàlẹ̀ níbi ìpolongo lọ́jọ́ yìí o tó fi máa gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. má dẹ́kun lásìbí ìwọ́de yìí o. ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí gbogbo wa ni ẹ pẹ́rù ẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation la fẹ́ o.
Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Sọ̀rọ̀ sójú kan. Ìrìn ayẹlẹ ká tètè yẹra.
Ó ti sú wa.
Ìfàsẹ́yìn púpọ̀ ló mú bá ìran Yorùbá o.
ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Canada pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ Nigeria Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination NINAS ń pe gbogbo ènìyàn síbi Canada Mega Rally tó jẹ́ ìtẹ̀síwájú 1 million Mega Rally March tó ń lọ ní US. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní Canada ẹ túyáyá kájọ gbárùkù ti òmìnira ilẹ̀ wa ìyẹn Yorùbá Nation on the 14th of September àti on the 1st of October ọdún 2021 ó máa wáyé o ìyẹn ní US Consulate General Toronto 360 University Avenue. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá o àjọṣe gbogbo wa ni torí wípé àjèjì ọwọ́ kan ò gbẹ́rù dórí. Lára àwọn nǹkan tá a mọ bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ni gbígba òmìnira kúrò lọ́wọ́ fífẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn dúnni àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nílùú Canada o ẹ má ṣaláì túyáyá jáde nítorí wípé Yorùbá Nation gbọ́dọ̀ dúró. Àjọṣepọ̀ gbogbo wa sí. Fún àlàyé tàbí ìbéèrè ẹ pè sórí àwọn nọ́mbà wọn 647-886-9810 tàbí 416-871-3656 àti 416-300-2019 àti 416-245-6960. ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá Nation ní Canada ló sọ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò àti gbígba òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá di ọwọ́ gbogbo wa.
ọ̀rọ̀ rèé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ á lísìn.
gbogbo Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè múra o.
ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sílé wa.
ìgbéyàwó pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè yẹra.
ó ti sú wa.
ìfàsẹ́yìn púpọ̀ ló mú bá ìran Yorùbá o.
ó pọ̀ jù.
ìbò bá jẹ́ wá gbé rẹ̀ sí wọn a tún gbé gàrí wá. wọ́n fẹ́nu ṣọ́nà ṣe títì pẹ̀lú omi o.
ẹnu lásán ló fi ń ṣe fún wa.
ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ parapọ̀ ká sọ̀rọ̀ sójú kan. lágbára wá sílẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà kó Odùduwà lè dúró.
kágbó Odùduwà ká lè ṣàṣeyẹ.
èrè pọ̀ ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ́tẹ́ táwa dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ o. gbogbo Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè múra.
ẹ jẹ́ ká rántí nígbà yé le tọba Fẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ àkóso Western Region ó mú tẹ̀síwájú wá lóríṣiríṣi owó kòkó tí ó tó owó epo àfi ṣe náà bẹ́ẹ̀ la fi ṣomi àfi ń ṣe títì ètò kọfẹ́ lọ lápá kan owó òṣìṣẹ́ ìyẹn ń lọ dédé ìdàgbàsókè lóríṣiríṣi ní gbogbo ẹ̀ka ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sílé ká gbódùdúwà ìgbéyàwó àpapàdé lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí kò méso rere wá àgbájọwọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká fi sọ̀yà ó lè ṣeéṣe fún wa láti gbódùdúwà ká dágbára padà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn baba ńlá wa Odùduwà nation á gbé wa ó aṣọ.
gbogbo Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè múra o. ìgbéyàwó pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè yẹra. ìfàsẹ́yìn púpọ̀ ló mú bá ìran Yorùbá o. ìbò bá dé wá gbé rẹ̀ sí wọn a tún gbé gàrí wá. wọ́n fẹ́nu ṣọ́nà ṣe títì pẹ̀lú omi o. ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ parapọ̀ ká sọ̀rọ̀ sójú kan. lágbára wá sílẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà kó Odùduwà lè dúró. èrè pọ̀ ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ́tẹ́ táwa dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ o. gbogbo Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè múra.
ká dira wa mú ká ṣera wa lóṣooṣù ọwọ́.
gbogbo Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè múra.
àǹfààní tó pọ̀ la máa jẹ lódùduwà.
gbogbo Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè múra.
Shake ground, Washington DC, USA, on September 30, October 1st, and October 2nd of 2021. Now the Ogbonge Yoruba Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra we go millet make una join the rally. We go start for Thursday, September 30, as we go march Kelele from British Embassy with the Massachusetts to White House for Washington DC between 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. As we dey proceed the following day, will be Friday, October 1st. We go march from White House to Capitol Hill between 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we go march back to White House. And for Saturday, October 2nd, will be the last day of the rally. We go day White House till night. This na the 3 days marathon mega rally for Washington DC, USA. And it
mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òde níbi gbogbo tí ẹ ti ń wò wá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí mo kí gbogbo yín pápátá Ọmọlúkà lórúkọ mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí má jẹ́ kó yà yín lẹ́nu pé bo ni mo wà tí mo ti ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè ilẹ̀ olómìnira Benin Republic ibẹ̀ ni a wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ aṣíwájú tí wọ́n jẹ́ bàbá fún gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá àwọn ni bàbá wa Professor Banji Akintoye ẹ máa gbọ́ lẹ́nu wọn gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ àti ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri àgbáyé tẹ́ fẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan kan tàbí méjì ẹ máa gbọ́ bàbá wa akíyín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ bá kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá.
ẹ kú lẹ́ o ẹ káàtijọ́ o odò àgbẹ̀ gbogbo wa o nǹkan tá à ń wá ó máa jẹ́ tiwa o ní wàhálà wá tí o gbogbo bá a ṣe ń ṣe wàhálà gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run máa fún wa ṣe o ẹ kú lẹ́ o.
bàbá lórí ìwọ́de tó fẹ́ wáyé lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà tí wọ́n pè ní 1 million march tó fẹ́ wáyé lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà kí ni ẹ ṣe rí eléyìí sí ọ̀nà wo ló fi jẹ́ ohun tó máa wúlò fún àwa ọmọ Yorùbá.
a fẹ́ gbé gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ wa lé gbogbo ayé lọ́wọ́ kí wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa ní Nàìjíríà ká bàa lè rí ìrànlọ́wọ́ látòkèèrè wa. tá a bá dákẹ́ tá à ń ṣe ní Nàìjíríà nìkan àwọn ọmọ wa ti ṣe gudugudu méje káàkiri. wọ́n ṣe rálì ní Ìbàdàn, wọ́n ṣe ní Abẹ́òkúta, wọ́n ṣe ní Òṣogbo, wọ́n ṣe ní Àkúrẹ́, wọ́n ṣe ní Adó Èkìtì, mẹ́gà rálì ní gbogbo àwọn wọ̀nyẹn. ó dáa púpọ̀, ó dẹ̀ ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́, ó jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn wa mọ nǹkan tí àwọn ọmọ wa ń fẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n kò tó. a ní ìdí láti gbé lọ sí gbogbo ayé kí gbogbo ayé mọ nǹkan tá à ń fẹ́. ìdí tá a fi ṣe nígbà tó tiẹ̀ dẹ̀ wá di wípé ìjọba Nàìjíríà fẹ́ wá máa dí àwa lọ́wọ́ torí gbogbo à ń ṣe mẹ́gàràlì káàkiri yẹn òfin àgbáyé gbà á òfin Nàìjíríà gangan gbà á ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ìjọba wa ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n fẹ́ ká ṣe nǹkan tí a fẹ́ ṣe àti pé àwọn ò kì í ṣèjọba tó gbà wípé wọn kì í sọ̀rọ̀ òfin nǹkan tó bá ti wù wọ́n làwọn ń ṣe. ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe ló jẹ́ pé kò bá òfin mu rárá. so ìdí ẹ̀ nìyẹn tá a fi sọ pé wẹ́ nígbà tó dẹ̀ dìde wípé wọ́n lọ kọlu àwọn ọmọ wa ní Èkó wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn lára wọ́n pa ọmọ kan tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ ní abẹ́ jẹ́jẹ́ tiẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ kó ọmọ ẹbí 50 láàrin àwọn ọmọ wa wọ́n lọ tì wọ́n mọ́lé ọ̀sẹ̀ 2 ọ̀sẹ̀ 3 ọ̀sẹ̀ 4 àǹsùwọ̀n gbogbo wọ̀nyẹn. ok ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn rálì tá a ti ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe nílé náà ó tó à ń gbé lọ sí gbogbo àgbáyé. ìdí nìyẹn tá a fi plan eléyìí. ó dẹ̀ wá bọ́ sí time tí ìjọba gbogbo àgbáyé tá à ń pè ní United Nations wọ́n máa ń ṣèpàdé lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ́dọọdún. àwa ni ká ṣe kí gbogbo wọn kàn bá rí wípé nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwa nìyí o. ẹ̀yin aráyé gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìjọba tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń bọ̀ ní United Nations yìí o.
ẹ wá wo ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
ẹ wá wo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa o. eléyìí tí tá a fẹ́ ṣe yìí ó máa jẹ́ kí ìrìn àjò wa kó má jìnnà púpọ̀ mọ́. ó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa. bàbá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ aṣáájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn ni wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ Professor Banji Akintoye. mo wá fẹ́ béèrè ìbéèrè kan lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí bàbá wa àwọn wo ni ẹ̀ ń fẹ́ kó péjú sí ibi ìwọ́de yẹn ṣáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nìkan ni kó wá bẹ̀ ni àbí ó ṣí sílẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àtọmọ Ìgbò àtàwọn tó bá fẹ́ kí òmìnira kó dé bá báwo ló ṣe rí ẹ ṣàlàyé.
àwa ti ṣe àsopọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan ilé ìtàwọn òyìnbó kò ní alliance tá a pe orúkọ ẹ̀ ní Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination NINAS. àwọn ló ń pe lájọ ṣe ìpàdé lájọ pa òkú pọ̀ wípé a máa ṣe lágbègbè ní Amẹ́ríkà tó àwa Yorùbá máa wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n máa wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò tó wà ní Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n máa wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn Middle Belt tó wà ní Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n máa wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Ìjọ tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n máa wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn gbogbo South tó wà ní Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n máa wà ń bẹ̀ èrò máa pọ̀ gidi gan kì í ṣe àwa Yorùbá nìkan nǹkan tí àwa Yorùbá ń sọ fún wọn ni pé jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa kọ́ ọkọ̀ ká ṣe kìíní gbogbo ìyẹn dẹ̀ ti ń plan láti gbogbo Amẹ́ríkà láti ibi tó jìnnà gan-an Amẹ́ríkà ìlú ńlá l'Amẹ́ríkà láti ibi tó jìnnà bíi California làwọn èèyàn ti ń ṣètò tán kóra wọn pọ̀ pé àwọn gbúdọ̀ lọ sí New York yẹn fúnra lè yẹn nǹkan tó máa ya ayé lẹ́nu nígbà tó ń bá rí wà níjọ́ Tuesday on the 14th.
ẹ ṣé bàbá gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ti mọ̀ pé ẹyẹ ò kì í fi apá kan fò ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ ọ̀dọ̀ mi àwọn bàbá wa kan náà tán tún jẹ́ aṣíwájú fún wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ ààrẹ fún gbogbo ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ yìí pátápátá àmì gbogbo àgbáyé àwọn ní bàbá wa Professor Adéníran ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n làwọn náà. Bàbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sẹ́ bá kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń wò yín.
Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta o ẹ kú ilé o a kú ojúlọ́nà orílẹ̀-èdè tuntun orílẹ̀-èdè Oòduà wa o á bá wa láyọ̀ láṣẹ
mi àṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ẹ ṣeun bàbá mi. Wọ́n ní bíṣẹ́ ọba pé ní ẹnìkan ìpẹ́ṣẹ́ mi ò pòwe lọ́dọ̀ yín bàbá ṣùgbọ́n ẹ bá wa gba àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n ti gbọ́n sìn gbogbo aládé ń fẹ́ la fẹ́ gba òmìnira a fẹ́ bọ́ lóko ẹrú ẹ gba àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà lókè òkun pàápàá jùlọ l'Amẹ́ríkà àtàwọn ìlú tó súnmọ́ bíi Mexico tàbí àwọn Caribbean tàbí àwọn ti Canada ẹ gba àwọn nímọ̀ràn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ rally yẹn torí ká rìn ká pọ̀ kún ní yẹni sá.
wọ́n ní ìrọ̀rùn okùn ní ìrọ̀rùn ẹyẹ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko ló nípa láti kó ní èlé tá a fẹ́ ṣe ní ọjọ́ 14 oṣù kẹsàn-án tá a wà yìí torí náà mo rọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire l'Amẹ́ríkà ni o ní Canada ni o ní Caribbean Islands ni o ní Brazil pàápàá ní Cuba ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jáde ẹ wá sí New York bó ti jẹ́ pé ọjọ́ kan lẹ máa lè lò ẹ wá kí gbogbo ayé orí wa kán gbóhùn wa kán mọ̀ pé àfẹ́ dúró ní Nàìjíríà mọ́ ìfàsẹ́yìn tí Nàìjíríà fà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó ti tó ìyànjẹ ó tó gẹ́ ẹ rí i pé ẹnujọ́ mẹ́ta nígbà tí gómìnà kò bu owó lu àbádòfin VAT àti sultan ṣùgbọ́n náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pariwo tó túmọ̀ sí pé àwa náà ń jẹ ẹ̀ ń jẹ wá ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń gàbálẹ̀ wa lórí ṣé bí ẹni tó bá ń fún yín ní nǹkan jẹ ẹ̀ tí ẹ máa bọ̀wọ̀ fún wọn àti ẹ̀ bọ̀wọ̀ fún wa ẹ wo ìwà pálapàla tó ń wù àwọn máa géèyàn lórí
pààyàn dànù fipá bá ní sùn
ba oko jẹ́ dá màálù sáàrin ìlú kẹ̀dẹ̀ máa sọ pé àwọn gómìnà wọn láṣẹ láti ṣòfin pé màálù ò gbọdọ̀ rìn láàrin títì gba àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ìsọkúsọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń run nínú tá a bá fẹ́ bọ́ lóko ẹrú tá a wà yí o ẹ jọ àǹfààní ńláńlá ní 1 million man march September 14 ẹ jẹ́ gbogbo aká tú jáde ká ṣe pẹ̀lú ìyárí.
ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa bàbá mo sì ń padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín mo wà lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa Professor Akintoye lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí bàbá.
ó yẹ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tá à ń pè ní first generation diaspora wa àwọn tó ń ti lọ láéláé láti bí
àádọ́ta ọdún
kẹ̀ 400 years ago.
Wow! Irinwó ọdún 400 years.
Gbogbo wọn náà ti kàn wá lára wípé àwọn rẹ́dì tó bá jẹ́ ìjà ló máa dá sílẹ̀ àwọn rẹ́dì láti wájà àtẹ̀sọ́ wọn pé kò ní ìjà kò ní síjà a máa gbára wa sílẹ̀ kúrò Nàìjíríà.
Láì níjà nínú ẹ ṣeun bàbá mi lágbára Ọlọ́run wọn ní kínkín pé àgbáyé adalẹ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ló fi ọ̀rọ̀ ránṣẹ́ kìkì àdúrà ni wọ́n ń gbà ẹ máa fi love yẹn máa fi ránṣẹ́ sí bàbá kẹdẹ máa fi àdúrà yẹn náà kẹ máa fi ránṣẹ́ ká tó kásẹ̀ ohun gbogbo nílẹ̀ bàbá mi ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè ìbéèrè kékeré yìí lọ́wọ́ yín wípé nígbà kan à ń gbọ́ pé ó fẹ́ rẹra díẹ̀ wípé òjòjò ń ṣe àgbà yín ṣùgbọ́n rírí táwa rí yín sì á rí pé kòkòkò lára ọ̀tá lè ẹ bá wa fi ọkàn àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá balẹ̀ pé kò séwu lẹ́gbẹ̀rún ẹ̀kọ́ àfàìbọn ọbẹ̀.
kò séwu àdúrà tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń gbà káàkiri ayé ní gbogbo ayé ó pọ̀ ju nǹkan tí àìsàn kankan lè wá kọlù mí. àdúrà yín ń gbà o mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o gbogbo ọmọ Oòduà lóko lómi ní Japan ní China ní India ní Australia ní Europe gbogbo Europe pátápátá ní Britain l'Amẹ́ríkà ní gbogbo mo dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín o bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń gbàdúrà fún mi lọ́lọ́run gbà o àìsàn múlẹ̀ kankan ò kọlù mo kàn lẹ àgbàlagbà ni mí ẹ̀kọ́ kan àti pé iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń gbé fún mi tọ̀sán tòru ni mò ń ṣe kò lè ṣàìsígbà kan tó máa rẹra díẹ̀ kò sígbà tí mo sá sẹ́yìn o ẹ ṣé o ẹ ṣé gbogbo àdúrà tẹ́ ń gbà ó ń gbà o mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o.
láti kásẹ̀ ohun gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ń fẹ́ láti gbọ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ olóyè Sunday Igboho a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí fọ́nrán tó jáde ó ti wáyé ó dẹ̀ ti wáyé ó ti lọ ṣùgbọ́n tí à ń fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lónìí pé kí ni àrídájú àti kí ni ìgbà wo ni kí a fọkàn sí pẹ̀lú àdúrà pé ó ṣeé ṣe kí olóyè kó jáde.
Ọlọ́run ló mètò Ọlọ́run ló mọ̀ ṣe.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ètò tí àwa tí a jẹ́ bàbá Sunday tá a ṣe ń bí àdúrà ní kẹ́ máa bá wa gbà kọ́ Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó lọ bá a ṣe fẹ́ kó lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n a ti ṣètò yẹn ogún nǹkan tí yóò jẹ́ kí Sunday ti jáde kì í ṣe pé ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kankan kì í ṣe pé ó ní charge kan criminal offence kankan ó kàn ṣẹlẹ̀ wípé nígbà tán mú yẹn ọdọọdún ni àwọn adájọ́ ìlú yìí máa ń gba àyè oṣù kan
láti lọ sinmi wọn dẹ̀ ní ṣẹjọ́ kankan ó kù bí ijọ́ bíi mélòó kan kí ọlídé yẹn kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ Sunday bẹ̀rẹ̀ so wọ́n láti fi sílẹ̀ níbi tán ṣe dé wọ́n gbàyè lọ nǹkan tó delay Sunday nìyẹn o ọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n ní wọ́n máa gbé wá sí Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ti pààyàn mọ́lẹ̀ wọn ò lè ṣeé ṣe mọ́ ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀ gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o
kò lè yẹn ò lè ṣeé ṣe adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ti bá wa pààyàn mọ́lẹ̀ ìyẹn ò wáyé mọ́ Nàìjíríà gan ò láyà láti tún wá máa bèrè mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n pé kán dẹ̀ wá kí àwọn adájọ́ kan padà láti olùdé wọn tán máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún
tí ó dẹ̀ ní pẹ́ mọ́ láti padà mọ́
15th of ọjọ́ Wednesday tó ń bọ̀ náà máa padà
ọjọ́ Wednesday tó
tán bá dẹ̀ dé ọjọ́ méjì mẹ́ta lẹ́yìn yẹn kẹ́ máa bá wa gbàdúrà kọ́ lọ́n tú Sunday lẹ̀ ibi tó bá fẹ́ lọ kó lọ àwa bàbá ìta dẹ̀ jókòó síbí tá à ń ṣètò yẹn lójoojúmọ́ káwa náà ká fún ìlàtí
àti rí kà nínú ọ̀rọ̀ kan tẹ́ sọ pé tí wọn bá tú sílẹ̀ pé ẹ̀ ní kúrò ń bí àti bàbá wa Professor Adéníran a rí pé gbogbo yín lẹ takú síbi pé tí wọn bá folóyè lẹ pé ẹ̀ ní lọ inú wa ń dùn gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ló ń gbọ́ yín lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àwọn náà ti rí i pé lótìtọ́ àti òdodo iṣẹ́ takuntakun lẹ̀ ń ṣe bí a ṣe máa fi olóyè sílẹ̀ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ olóyè nìkan iṣẹ́ Yorùbá òun ni ẹ̀ ń ṣe fún ìdí yẹn gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú àdúrà oríṣiríṣi mẹ́sẹ̀gì ló wà ń bí long live bàbá oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀ tí bá ní kí n máa ka àkókò á lọ láti parí ọ̀rọ̀ mi bàbá ẹ bá gba gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nímọ̀ràn lórí ìrètí ohun tí à ń wò yìí torí ní tèmi Ọmọlúkà nìkan ṣoṣo èmi mọ̀ pé Yorùbá nation yẹn ó ti tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ ná ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kan ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìtinú pé ǹjẹ́ ó tiẹ̀ lè ṣe é ṣe àbí kò lè ṣe é ṣe ẹ bá gba wọn nímọ̀ràn ẹ sọ wọ́n lọ́kàn jí.
mo rọ̀ yín ẹ má mikàn ìgbà míì tí àṣeyọrí bá ti súnmọ́lé àárẹ̀ ọkàn fẹ́ máa ń mú àwọn èèyàn ẹ má yẹ ká àárẹ̀ ọkàn kò mú wa ìkan tí mo ti fẹ́ tẹnu mọ́ ní pàtàkì òun ni pé ṣe rí eléyìí tó ń tún sọ pé ìbò ń bọ̀ lọ́dún tó ń bọ̀ yìí bóyá ìbò gọ́fúnọ́ṣì lọ́ṣun ni o àbí lẹ́kìtì ni o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo rọ̀ yín ẹ má tì wọ́n lẹ́yìn torí tá a bá tún sọ pé à ń dìbò ní ìsìn ọjọ́ oko ẹrú wa
látún sún
síwájú ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà mọ́ constitution yẹn ó ti dùtú bá ń tẹ́ gbogbo wọn tó bá ṣe nísìnyí gan kò bá òfin lọ mọ́ agídí náà kàn ń ṣe àwọn tó ń dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn gbàgbọ́tì àwọn jẹkúdújẹrá ni àwọn tó ń nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn èèyàn wọn àwọn tó ń ṣe tán pé káwọn èèyàn wọn kú sóko ẹrú àwọn bámbámu ni mo yó mi ò mọ̀ tí ebi ń pọ̀ ọmọ ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan ṣùgbọ́n ebi ò ní pa alágbára Ọlọ́run a máa gba orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá láìpẹ́ yìí tó dẹ̀ pé inú wa dùn ọkàn wa balẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tó ti fi ń dùn wá tẹ́lẹ̀ á tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ torí Nàìjíríà ẹ má mi kan o.
bá ṣe ń ṣèjọba nígbà ayé Awólọ́wọ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni la ṣe máa ṣe eléyìí
ayé rojú tọ̀run ráyè tó nílérí jẹ tá àlejò orí jẹ ibẹ̀ la fẹ́ padà sí.
sí gbogbo àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lágbàáyé tó ń nàgà tí wọ́n ń wo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
pé kí làwọn wọ̀nyí ṣe ń ṣe yìí adẹ̀tí tún wá lágbára jù gbà yẹn báyìí lọ ìgbà yẹn báyìí ṣé ìgbà tí ti Fálọ́run bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn tó mọ̀wé ò tí ì pọ̀ bí eléyìí
Ọlọ́run ti wá kẹ́ wa báyìí.
àwọn tẹ́ bá gbọ́ nǹkan tí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ń ṣe káàkiri àgbáyé á yà yín lẹ́nu gbogbo wọ̀nyí ni wọ́n ń kó padà bọ̀ nílé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá mi kò ní ju báyìí lọ Ọmọlúkà lórúkọ mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i bó ṣe rí òun lẹ ṣe gbọ́ yẹn wọ́n ní kí ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ ètí nù kẹ́ ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ nígbàgbọ́ pé dandan bá a fẹ́ bá a kọ̀ á gbòmìnira Yorùbá dá dúró ẹ wo ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Afghanistan àwọn olówó wọn kúkú wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn olórí ẹlẹ́sìn gbogbo àwọn.
náà bá ń sùn kún sójú tẹ̀rẹ́ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ kò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí yóò lókun ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àbádórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ó dórí àwọn. Alábòsí inú ẹrù wọn pẹ́ jìnnà sí wọn bí sọmọ sílẹ̀ o. Ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o. Náà bá ń sùn kún sójú. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ. Ẹyẹ kò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó. Wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó. Ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí yóò lókun ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o.
September 30, October 1 and October 2nd, 2021. Dress code na black. Leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Leader of Ilanomo Odua Worldwide, Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye. Yoruba Nation activist, Chief Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho. Chief Imam, Yoruba Land in Nigeria, African Muslim leader, Sheikh Abdulrahim Aduanigba. Now the correctment Yoruba Nation and Indigenous People of Biafra powered the rally and it dey endorsed by all self-determination groups and media wey dey obodoyibo.
Yoruba Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra. Ọwọ́ tí bá ń dunni ẹnìkan kì í fi sábẹ́ aṣọ. Bòmí mọ́ra kí n pa ọ́ làrún wí. Túmi síta kí n fi ọ́ sílẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń pariwo. Ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ni wá lára. Ìyanijẹ ọ̀hún pàpọ̀ jù. Ìfẹ̀tọ́ ẹni lánilójú. Ìdúkookò mọ́ni. Ìjínigbé. Sùmọ̀mí. Ìjẹgàba. Ṣíṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún àwọn afẹ̀míṣòfò. Mẹ̀kúnnù ń pariwo ebi lójoojúmọ́. Àrílégbé. Àárọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀sùn. Inú fu àyàfu la fi ń kiri. Ajẹ́ pé bolówó ẹni ọ̀bá mọ̀ pélé yá o. Ó tọ́ ó yẹ kí wọ̀fà ó sì wọ oko ríro. Ìdí nìyí tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà àti gbogbo ẹ̀yà Ìgbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà fi ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìwọ́de wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́ lọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta láti pe gbogbo àjọ àgbáyé sáwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ aburú tó ń lọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà níbi tí wọ́n ti ní ọ̀wọ̀ fún ẹ̀mí ẹranko jẹ̀mí èèyàn lọ. 3 days marathon mega rally Washington DC l'Amẹ́ríkà ló gbé máa wáyé. Ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀yà Ìgbò àti Yorùbá tó lágbára. Ọ̀tún wẹ òsì òsì wẹ ọ̀tún lọ́wọ́ fi mọ́. Káfi tọrọ mọ́kọ́bọ̀ lówó fi dòdìndì. Òfun wo ìwòrìwò ń abádìjọ wò ní gún gẹ́gẹ́. Ìwọ ojúlówó ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá ti ń bẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà. Darapọ̀ mọ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra ní September 30th, October 1st and 2nd, 2021. Ọgbọ̀njọ́ oṣù kẹsàn-án, ọjọ́ kìíní àtọjọ́ kejì oṣù kẹwàá. British Embassy ní Washington DC láti máa gbéra. Láago 9 òwúrọ̀ sáago 2 ọ̀sán. Láti bẹ̀rù láti doríkọ White House ní 30th of September. Tó bá wá di 1st of October, White House láti máa gbéra lọ sí Capitol Hill. Senate láago 11 òwúrọ̀ sáago 3 ọ̀sán. Ibẹ̀ látún ti padà sí White House. White House la máa wà títí dalẹ́ ọjọ́ Sátidé kẹlẹ́lẹ́. Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra, powered and organized by all Yoruba Nation and Indigenous People of Biafra, endorsed by all self-determination groups and media in diaspora. Our dear father, Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye, leader of Yoruba and Ilana Omo Odua Worldwide, Tajudeen O Adeja Jamiu akọ̀wé Sheikh Abdulrahim Adura nígbà Chief Imam Yorùbá Délédoko Alhaji Nunu Banjo Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally Washington DC Chapter Coordinator Oliver Obi Eastern Region Coordinator for Indigenous People of Biafra Prophet Ayodele Ologololuwa Chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally Ndubuese Ejiazi Central Region Coordinator for Indigenous People of Biafra gbogbo media agitator lọ́fọwọ́ sí dress code flag gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ l'Amẹ́ríkà ẹ jẹ́ àdá gírígírí bẹ̀ kí wọ́n má fi re wa ṣàpínlẹ̀ o.
Kéré o, kéré o, kéré o. Ìkéde pàtàkì fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá ní tilé toko àti lẹ́yìn odi, pàápàá jùlọ fún àwọn tí ó ń gbé ní ilẹ̀ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Ìyíde gbogbogbò ti orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ó ń bẹ ní ilẹ̀ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2021 ní gbọ̀ngàn Trafalgar ní ìlú London. Ẹ wá láti gúúsù, àríwá, ìlà oòrùn, ìwọ̀ oòrùn, ẹ jẹ́ kí a jọ gbé lárugẹ. Kékulé kó gbọ́, kó sọ fún toko. Oòduà á gbè wá o. Olùkéde Media Presenters.
Jìnnà sí wọn bí sọmọ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o tán bá sunkún sójú bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ kó lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó wọn dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí yóò lókun ó dá kìtìyàn o ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Jìnnà sí wọn bí sọmọ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o tán bá.
Kéré o, kéré o.
Shake ground, Washington DC, USA, on September 30, October 1st, and October 2nd, 2021. Now the Ogbonge Yoruba Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra. We go millet. Make una join the rally. We go start for Thursday, September 30, as we go march Kelele from British Embassy with the Massachusetts to White House for Washington DC between 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. As we dey proceed the following day, will be Friday, October 1st. We go march from White House to Capitol Hill between 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we go march back to White House. And for Saturday, October 2nd, will be the last day of the rally. We go day White House till night. This now the 3 days marathon mega rally for Washington DC, USA, and it go happen for September 30, October 1, and October 2nd, 2021. Dress code na black. Leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Leader of Ilanomo Odua Worldwide, Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye. Yoruba Nation activist, Chief Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho. Chief Imam, Yoruba Land in Nigeria, African Muslim leader, Sheikh Abdulrahim Adua Nigba. Now the correctment Yoruba Nation and Indigenous People of Biafra powered the rally, and it dey endorsed by all self-determination groups and media wey dey obodoyibo.
Yoruba Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra. Ọwọ́ tí bá ń dunni ẹnìkan kì í fi sábì aṣọ. Bòmí mọ́ra kí n pa ọ́ làrún wí. Tú mi síta kí n fi ọ́ sílẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń pariwo. Ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ni wá lára. Ìyanijẹ ọ̀hún pàpọ̀ jù. Ìfẹ̀tọ́ ẹni lánilójú. Ìdúkookò mọ́ni. ìjínigbé sùmọ̀mí ìjẹgàba ṣíṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún àwọn afẹ̀míṣòfò mẹ̀kúnnù ń pariwo ebi lójoojúmọ́ àrílégbé àárọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀sùn inú fún àyàfo la fi ń kiri ajẹ́ pé bólówó ẹni ọ̀bá mọ̀ pé léyà o ó tọ́ ó yẹ kí wọ̀fà ó sì wọ òkò ríro ìdí nìyí tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà àti gbogbo ẹ̀yà Ìgbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà fi ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìwọ́de wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́ lọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta láti pe gbogbo àjọ àgbáyé sáwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ aburú tó ń lọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà níbi tí wọ́n ti ní ọ̀wọ̀ fún ẹ̀mí ẹranko jẹ̀mí èèyàn lọ 3 days marathon mega rally Washington DC l'Amẹ́ríkà ló gbé máa wáyé ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀yà Ìgbò àti Yorùbá tó lágbára ọ̀tún wẹ òsì òsì wẹ ọ̀tún lọ́wọ́ fi mọ́ káfi tọrọ mọ́kọ́bọ̀ lówó fi dòdìndì òfun wo ìwòrìwò ń abádìjọ wò ní gún gẹ́gẹ́ ìwọ ojúlówó ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá ti ń bẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà darapọ̀ mọ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra ní September 30th October 1st and 2nd 2021 ọgbọ̀njọ́ oṣù kẹsàn-án ọjọ́ kìíní àtọjọ́ kejì oṣù kẹwàá British Embassy ní Washington DC láti máa gbéra láago 9 òwúrọ̀ sáago 2 ọ̀sán láti bẹ̀rù láti doríkọ White House ní 30th of September tó bá wá di 1st of October White House láti máa gbéra lọ sí Capitol Hill Senate láago 11 òwúrọ̀ sáago 3 ọ̀sán ibẹ̀ látún ti padà sí White House la máa wà títí dalẹ́ ọjọ́ sátidé kẹlẹ́lẹ́ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally and Indigenous People of Biafra powered and organized by all Yorùbá Nation and Indigenous People of Biafra endorsed by all self-determination group and media in diaspora our dear father Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye leader of Yorùbá and Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà worldwide Tajudeen O Adejamiu akọ̀wé Sheikh Abdulrahim Adura Nígbà Chief Imam Yorùbá Délédoko Alhaji Nunu Banjo Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally Washington DC chapter coordinator Olifa Obi Eastern Region coordinator for Indigenous People of Biafra Prophet Ayodele Ologololuwa Chairman for Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally Ndubuese Ejiazi Central Region coordinator for Indigenous People of Biafra gbogbo media agitator lọ́fọwọ́ sí dress code flag gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ l'Amẹ́ríkà ẹ jẹ́ àdá gírígírí bẹ̀ kí wọ́n má fi re wa ṣàpínlẹ̀
portrayed in the film Hotel Rwanda. Well, Extinction Rebellion who went on the M25, blocked M25, and there was a chaos, proper chaos. And I'm saying, listen. Now the UK is doing it best. We know all the cuts, we know the ULEZ, we know congestion and all the things that they are putting in place. And when you have a gasoline, how much you have to be paying for your road tax, everything that is going up there. We are doing our best here, all right? Now, if you really think that you have a cause and you want to be causing trouble, go to China. Because they are they do what more than a quarter of the pollution that goes on across the globe. So if you really want to do something, go there, go and do it. And leave us to go about our lives with all the suffering that we are suffering at the moment. I know it's a challenge, but it's something that I think that is what the way it should be. We'll be talking about all that in a moment, but it is Start Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11 o'clock. Now, a quick one from Africa as well on the African front. Rwandan businessman gunned down in Mozambique. Rwandan Refugees Association says Revocant Karimangigo was a victim of execution by President Paul Kagame's government. Really? Is Paul Kagame now doing the dirty? Or somebody will say, well, if you have a leader who is doing everything for the country and you have people just because of selfish interest who want to be putting the knife in, sticking the knife in, then somehow you need to get rid of them or silence them. And that seems to be what is going on. I'm not saying that is what is that whatever happened is by the hand of the Rwandan government. I'm not saying that, but that is what is being alleged. I hope that it is not so. It is Start Radio UK. 6 died in ambush on Burkina Faso military convoy. Now 7 more wounded after suspected jihadis attacked the convoy escorting fuel tankers. There are some of the stories making the rounds there. Adewale Ayuba, my marriage was made, has made me what I am. There are some of the stories making the rounds in Niger, but I tell you, more of the stories will be coming your way. Now, when it comes to some stories making the rounds in Ghana, you're losing relevance. I don't go to Baumia. What does it mean? We'll be looking into that. And then, Interestingly, the Reverend Minister or the clergy who was arrested last Sunday and who was in police custody. Now, when the court decided, no, you sir, we're not going to grant you bail. You have to stay in behind or in custody until investigation is completed. Has decided that he was not feeling very well. What is making him not feel well? Well, so he's been taken to the hospital. Now, some are asking the question, what about his other compatriots that he was there with? Are they also going to be falling ill? Now, what about what happened to Obinim? We're going to call him Obinim. What happened to him as well? So, this is a lot more we'll be looking at. What will happen? Are some people above the law? Well, in the animal kingdom, some animals are above the law. Is that what we are finding ourselves in the animal kingdom? Well, we'll be looking at that in a moment. Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, let me say a massive good morning to you. It is Star Radio UK. Let's enjoy this song, and once we come back, we should be having Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI bringing you updates from Nigeria. Enjoy.
Surely he meant it. Everybody, and if he meant it, surely he will do it. Say, God is working. It's up to something.
All right, every little thing is gonna be all right. Something's wrong. I guess it's been wrong. I want to welcome you back to the program. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to what? 7 minutes past the top of the hour. And we have Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI who has joined us, but unfortunately, I cannot see him. But let me see what is happening there. Okay. We're gonna see Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI. So, Mr. Yomi, can you sort yourself out so that we can see you? Unless, of course, where you are, we can only hear you. Hello, Yomi. Okay, I think there's a connectivity issue there. Let's see. All right then. He's going to call us back. So don't you worry. It is Star Radio UK. But with me in the studio, I've got Mr. Frank Davis in the house as well. And let me say massive good morning to you, Frank.
Actually, good morning to our listeners wherever they are. We welcome them to another edition of Star Radio Morning Show. Yeah, here to do what we know what to do best. Talk.
That's what we know how to do, but we like talking. we talk, we make sure, like I told you, we make sure that we bring you everything that you need to know. So wherever you are, make sure you continue to listen to us. Maybe we drift. Maybe you can also come in to tell us that, hey, I think that this is what is actually going on.
Actually, I'm doing very, very good. Doing very well. It was a long night, but it's good. A long night, but good. Okay, I love that. A long night, but good. Now, if you're listening to us, how was the night as well? Well, there are questions and stories making around. But now, let's go to Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI, who is also joined in now, and say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Yes, you're quite right. I was listening to you from the other device, but as you could tell, sometimes with a bit of technical, technology, as you might want to put it, it just did a bit of refreshing. And here we are. And like Frank says, this is what we love to do, to make sure that our viewers from around the globe, from wherever they are, Ghana, Uganda, Russia, Jamaica, Sierra Leone, United Kingdom, we're here to make sure that you are up to date with what is happening around the globe. But when it's exactly 11 o'clock, you know where it is, all the way down to Nigeria. Some say, do not call me Nigerians anymore. I'm Yoruba, I'm Biafra, I'm Middle Belt. But like Frank says yesterday, we still have to use the phrase Nigeria until the country finally goes into disintegration, for those that believe so.
Okay. How are you doing, sir?
Well, it's good. It's quite a little bit windy. It's been a bit raining since morning. I'm very good. I've been very busy because you got to remember today is the 14th of September. So quite a lot is going to be happening in America within the next 6 hours because they are behind. So that means in another 6 hours from now, things will start getting very busy with so many of the activities planned and laid about. So we are also making sure that we can pick up the signal from there as well later on. So I've been very busy since morning, but here we are again about to give the update from what is happening in Nigeria this morning.
Okay, now that is the UN General Assembly event that you are talking about there, right?
Yes, you're quite right. The general, which is the 76th General Assembly, is taking up, within the next couple of hours. And as you can tell, there will be quite a lot of noise. There will be quite a lot of activities. And it's not just the Nigerians. I mean, this is an opportunity that is well used by most countries around the world to make sure that they can take that advantage to lay their, their complaint, their grievances, because there's quite a lot of issues around the globe. And, UN General Assembly is one place where all the countries around the globe have their president or their representatives. And from information that we are being told as well, it seems it's going to be a very busy one for the security within the perimeters of the United Nations building.
Well, let me go with Frank quickly, and then we come to the
happen. Now, you see this event that is going to happen. Then Olayemi saying that, well, those who are protesting for what separation or who have any cause at all. Yesterday we had an incident in London where we had people who were protesting, and they went on the F-25 because we are talking about environmental protection. When they blocked the F-25 for hours on air, and then people were very, very angry about that whole protest. I've directed them that they should go to China if they really want to make an impact. I know people will say, why am I saying that? But do you think that people converging at the UN General Assembly makes their voices heard rather than getting maybe the UN itself giving the representatives of those various bodies a chance to come and air their views?
Sometimes it's tough for what you call it, the protesters as well, because if you ask yourself how best do they make their case, I do however think that sometimes they get to extreme. You cited, for instance, the new one that was staged, was it yesterday?
Yesterday on the M25.
Called the Insulate of Britain. A new group that thinks that government should move to insulate houses more as a way of bringing the climate, having impact on climate. Yes, China, yes, but individually, I think we can also make a difference. And if you look at yesterday, for the protest was about Britain, because the way the houses are, they are asking for their insulation. I know governments will also do it now. The agenda, the climate, urban forward, we push it for China. Yes, we do it dirty. We've taken emergency measures on what they call diesel cars and other things. So, varied arguments will be made. But in my view, protest is right. I mean, it's one way of people making themselves known. Their cause, whatever it is going on, if they don't protest, how would you know? A lot of people who were on M25 yesterday, I do understand. One elderly woman, for instance, who has booked appointment to see a GP, waiting for 2 years. And as a director of the protest, she couldn't make that appointment. She couldn't make that appointment. That individually, the impact will be great. But collectively, you look at it, what these people are doing. But will I subscribe to them causing maximum disruption? I would have thought that they would go to Downing Street and block or go to Parliament House. They go to Parliament House or something like where the decision makers are. But when it becomes basically your protest now becomes a weapon against the ordinary people who are just going about collecting what is trying to because at the end of the day, if I have any sympathy for the protesters, climate protesters. Yesterday that woman wouldn't have she would never So I think we just have to look at how we choose our protests, where we actually launch it. But yesterday the destruction was massive. Not only one junction, about 4 or 5 junctions. You move from one to another. That you're going to exit. You can't exit. It's very unfortunate. I think they need to do that. The attack is more.
Yomi, do you think that if the UN is giving those who are fighting this cause, those who are going to protest on behalf of what do you call them? What's the name that has been given to them?
Well, these are the indigenous, alliance, which is the different ethnic minority of the.
Yeah, you have a name. You have a name that whether the acronym that has been used. You normally use it. I've forgotten it.
Yeah, that's the Ninas.
Ninas.
Yes.
Now, do you think that if the UN should give you the opportunity for give the Ninas an opportunity for maybe one of their representatives to come on the stage and say, hey, this is what is going on. I mean, that would rather make more impact than standing out there having few placards and making a bit of noise there. What do you think?
Well, you're quite right. I mean, these are individuals, organizations rather that have been, NINAS, for those that might not understand what it stands for, is the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. I mean, yes, they've been engaging the United Nations since 2003, and quite a lot of, what they've been told, to put together is what they are actually doing as well. So it is not new that, these activities that might be happening outside the United Nations building, there will also be the situation where more of these activities of engagement, which is what you've just asked. I mean, a lot of people would be definitely expecting, United Nations, to give them the opportunity to also speak out. But again, these are, measures that a lot of Nigerians and a lot of those alliance will be expecting as well. Give me the remote.
My only worry with some of the protests at the UN is that it gets a bit drawn out because at the end of the day, a lot of protests that is going to happen. Yeah. For instance, the football this time, you're going to see a lot of climate protests that is going on. I just hope that my brothers and sisters from Nigeria who might be protesting on the heinous crimes that are taking place are able to have opportunity to present their petitions to the matters, which should be serving, they should be the opportunity to serve the United States senators and others if that is what will also help them to really support for their cause. But the UN itself, we know people travel there, but the security, especially coming at the back of a few days after 20 years anniversary of 9/11, and the events that has happened in Afghanistan, ending what they call the abrupt end to the US and other allied operation after 20 years exiting this thing. And we as picking information that some of these who were evacuated are actually Islamic terrorists, or basically people with hardline with who infiltrated and then the system. You expect that the security around the UN, this General Assembly, is going to be, a very, very tight one. Yeah. Okay, listeners, it is Radio UK, the Tuesday edition of the morning show, updates from Nigeria. So we go back to Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI for some of the updates. But fire. 57 market fires in 10 months in Oyo. I mean, so what is all that about? Is it because the market? I mean, you go to Ghana and you see some of the market area, you see the electric cabling or the way the normal wiring has been done. And you see people tapping because either they cannot afford to have their own lines that have been run for them, or just doing that, and that causes fire. You cannot at times just blame that the government is causing fire, or no. At times there's arson. We agree to that. But when we the main cause of this, what have they said about this fire and the origination as well?
Well, you're quite right. When we look at these reports that have just come out today, which is telling us that 57 market fires in 10 months. That also means that there is some kind of crisis that needs to have been looked into, by the representatives of the people, which are the government officials. I mean, we're not talking about fires in just one particular state. This fire has spread across, from the southeast to the southwest, but mostly within the southwest, where we've seen a lot of the big market, as you might want to call it, whether it's a spare part market or just the normal day-to-day goods. So, I mean, when some of these fires were happening, it was also a suggestion by a lot of people that maybe more security should have been put in place. But for people like these individuals named Modupe Yusuf, the day she lost everything to a market fire will forever be etched in her memory. From running a provision store, she has now become a pepper seller overnight to hold body and soul. I mean, when people that are listening to us from around the world might think, well, what about the insurance? This is a different thing in Nigeria, where insurance is not what a lot of market traders would have put in place and also, ensuring the market. I mean, if I was meant to be selling in Dustin Market or Peckham Market, the first thing you must have to hand over to them before you're given a space is what we call the trader, insurance that covers you, should in case anything happen to you. But the mother of four was preparing the family dinner in February this year when she received the call that shattered her dreams. Her shop had been gutted by fire. The question then is, who are those responsible, for this fire, and why has this fire? I mean, as a result of this frequent fire outbreak, we can tell you that life would have been threatening, while billions of naira worth of goods have been destroyed, with many rendered jobless and hopeless.
Now, interesting. Let's come to you did mention the insurance. Now, there's something with us, especially Africans, when we talk to, if somebody is an insurance broker or agent in Ghana, or in Africa, it is difficult for you to sell insurance policy to people because they think that no, it can't happen or it won't happen to me. So when we have incident like this happening, then we find people just from wherever they are to virtually switch.
Yeah, I think the insurance and other aspects are important. One would expect that by now we should up our games in terms of how we buy insurance. But Africans in this country don't like buy insurance. Yeah. That's a matter of fact. Yeah. We see some of these investments as a waste of money, apart from it being enforced by law, like car.
Yeah, or your house, when you get your mortgage first, you need to get that insurance.
Yeah, not do it. Voluntarily, I wonder how many of us have life insurances, how many of us have critical illness insurance, even how many of us have thought of probably insurance to protect our children.
Yeah, when we pass to that, yeah.
And again, you realize that as a direct result of that, come to the fire, as a direct result of that, we are losing out on opportunities. If you look at our great grandfathers, our mothers and sisters in this country, let's assume my father lived in this country. My father died. If my father had bought an insurance policy, it would have been one good way of passing down to me some generational wealth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because there's money. Actually, if you're saving, let's say, £20 a month, £20 a month a year is 240. Yeah. Okay. Let's assume 240 times 20 years. Okay. 240 times 20 years will amount to almost 5,000.
4,800.
Call it 5,000.
Yeah.
That is what it amounted to. That's for 20 years. Now, assuming you take the policy, $500,000 policy, you contributed for that 20 years and you passed on. What you've done, you have used the 5,000 to fetch a potential $500,000 for the people you are leaving behind.
Yeah.
Are you getting it here? Now, we will die and our funeral costs have to
become a burden
on our family. Yeah, we are taking advantage of it. Because in this country, a lot of elderly people. That's why sometimes crime also comes in for people who like to kill their parents.
Yeah.
Which is what we want to. Which means that if we clever and smart enough, we should be taking advantage of that within the system. And it applies everywhere. Life insurance, insurance policy. Now, these fires, actually, we have to blame the government when they put it. We know we have individual responsibilities, but if government has not lead the way, actually, in this country, there's a reason why when you are renting out or you are in a house of multiple occupancy, every 5 years you are supposed to, what you call it, update your certificate for someone to come and check whether the house is still, because these cables, everything that has a beginning has an end.
Yeah.
These cables, new laws come about safety measures. They want to see if you're compliant. You might have been using microwaves and other things, putting a lot of strain on it. You go to our markets, like you said, one socket, the 13 amps. It tells you that when you overload it past the 13 amps, it's supposed to cut off, right? You see, flex.
Flex.
Those flexible wires, they are now becoming even more flexible. Sometimes you look at big, thin things between them. You plug them, they are very, very hot. They are melting. Most people small thing. Yeah. In school, I mean, when we used to cook using, you know, the body house. Yeah, the body how you put it in. Sometimes you put it in a bucket, pour water on it. You realize that some of those extension cords, they melt out. And I'm assuming in the shop, in the market where, uncle, can I tap it? It's because one, the electricity companies are not free enough to be able to supply everybody with power. You apply for it, you want to get power extended to your place. I mean, it takes a year. And then why do you buy flexible wire and extend it? Who conduct health safety checks in our markets? Okay, hungry brother, he just comes and he also wants that. Because actually, the local authorities need to do that. There must be a law. The local authorities need to inspect that. The electricity companies of Nigeria have to inspect that. There have to be a system that inspects that. A lot of people have finished polytechnics. They qualified as electrical graduates. They have no job. These are some of the opportunities they will get to be able to get jobs. But if I qualify as an electrical engineer, and there's a law that tells me that, look, all these markets, they must comply with certain safety. It becomes it creates a job for me to ensure that because I go inspect, make sure if there's nothing, if there's it's not according to the law, something is not right. The person selling cables makes money. The person selling bulbs makes money. The handy person that I can employ that will help me. And you get the person selling stationery, which I'm going to write or the driver that's going to take me there to do all that, or the person selling measuring tape, the person selling wood or whatever I'm going to do. Also, that is a job creation. That's a job creation. But no, instead of doing that, we allow fires to come and consume everything down. So, whatever we grow, whatever we sow, whatever we use, fire comes and one day and everything is gone. I'm not saying accidents will happen. Accidents will happen. Incidents will happen. But the question we then ask, what are we doing to be able to minimize the risk? And we are doing that. And I blame government because government needs to be able to direct, lead it with that from today or in 5 years' time. Sure, this will not break. We're coming to break through. Okay. It happens in Ghana. Yeah. Let me go to Yomi. Yomi, do you think that these individuals, like this lady, are they going to get any help from the state at all?
Well, I mean, the state tend to, say they will give a kind of a compensation, but we do know that, those compensation doesn't come true as well. I mean, it took about 2 months from the shop to be rebuilt. The Yaloja, which is the market women, and some other people from the government came. They talk about compensating us, which is what you just asked. We were asked to write our names, what we lost, and the cost, but till now, we haven't had anything from them. She said, as a result of this, so I mean, it's easy for somebody else to also be making money out of this because, by putting your name down doesn't guarantee that the money will eventually come to you, but the money might also have been allocated. But again, like Frank says, these are still part of the corruption. And when you talk about, job creation, this is what you expect, when you look at the amount of jobs that can be created. But the first thing is you must have the first part of it, which is the health and safety. The health and safety will then be from the local government. From the local government, then we create those kind of little jobs around, just as we see it here in the United Kingdom. But it is not so on the other side of the globe.
Well, listeners, let your voice be heard. It is now Radio UK. 11:31 the time, the TV edition of the morning show. Up this from Nigeria, with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis and Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI in North London studios. Now, let's go on to some of the other stories making the round. Now, they are talking about National Assembly having, are they going to have the power or the powers to override the open grazing ban that various states have enacted at the moment? We have the Miati Alice who have come out to say that, look, this open grazing ban that you brought about is going to bring about chaos or menace in the country. That means that they are not going to adhere to the laws. They're going to go about whatever they have to do. On when it comes to the Fulani headsmen menace. What is it all about?
Well, I mean, if you remember, I mean, Lagos have also finally signed, that open grazing. A couple of more states are, we're waiting for them to sign it. And what does that mean? I mean, it means that you can no longer move your cows, within the state as you might want to. But the Miyetti Allah doesn't seem to agree with this, and the association then called on the National Assembly now to intervene and stop the attempt by the state governors to prohibit open grazing, to curb clashes between farmers and herders across the country. Some of these governors, have enacted the laws banning open grazing. I mean, yeah, we can still see, some states, like I said, are still operating. Notably, this is the resolution made by governors of the 17 southern states after a meeting in Asaba Delta State capital to ban open grazing. The movement of the cart by foot. The governors had said the decision was taken as part of effort to improve security in the region. This started from the 1st of September, which was the deadline to enact the law. But while the law is already operational in several states, like I say, some states are still in the process of passing the bill. But the Miyetti Allah, seems that, this is not going to work. The Northern Elder Forums on its part said the proposed plan was an attempt to split the North and subject its people to humiliation and attacks. So you can see that, and also Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, also faulted the decision of the southern governors and likened the resolution to prohibiting spare part trading in the North. So, I mean, it's still a lot of, issues around it, but the governors are not backing down on what they've already, put as the law. Can the National Assembly override a law enacted by the state? On the request of the Miyetti Allah, can the National Assembly also intervene and stop the governors? So we will have to see what can be the outcome of it. The National Assembly is just a legislative arm of the government that is saddled with the responsibility of making laws. Other functions of the National Assembly, including confirming nominees of the president, investigating, conducting of ministry, department, and agency. According to Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution, the state that the National Assembly is vested with the powers to make law for peace, order, good governance of the Federation with respect to matters in the exclusive legislative list. So, like I said, powers of the state. Who makes the law in the state? The governors serve as the chief executive of the office of the state. The governors have the responsibility of implementing the state laws and overseeing the operation of the state executive branch. So you can see now, and according to Section 52AB of the 1999 Constitution, says the executive power of the state shall be vested in the governor of that state and may be subject as foreseen and to provisions of any law made by the House of Assembly, which is the law banning open grazing.
Now, quickly, let me come to Frank and let me pick your brains on this. Now, they are saying that, with the southern states banning this open grazing, I mean, they are going to stop. Is it the Attorney General who's saying that coming to the north to trade in auto parts can also somehow be stopped? Now the person is selling auto parts there. Does it bring on somebody's business or?
Madness. Let's call it this total madness. What he's saying doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, he is thinking that people should engage in illegality, and because they are from the north, it should be deemed all right. We're talking of people's livelihood. Yes. When I'm selling auto parts, how do I destroy others' livelihood? Are you talking about competition? Are you talking about market? Are you saying that because I come to sell someone in north business, I'm competing with them and therefore I'm taking business away from them? If that's the case, then we can also say, if the southern council is okay, then you don't drive to the south to even get the access to the port. So they shouldn't descend into this madness. At the end of the day, even people in the north agree that open grazing and the way they destroy others' property cannot be the order of the day. Land is owned by communities, by individuals. You cannot enter. That's trespassing itself. You get it? So in my view, I mean, these are the kind of people who are speaking without thinking, but they want to please the section of the population where they are support for whatever they are doing comes from. And it's just a matter of, it's a political talk, but it's total madness. It will not work.
Now, Yomi, what has citizens in the South been saying about this particular?
Well, I mean, you got to know the excitement of most of the citizens in the Southwest and the Southeast and the Middle Belt on these particular issues. I mean, the Land Act Act gives the governor the control over the lands in their state. So it can be said that the decision of the governor is in line with Section 1 of the Act, which says, subject to provision of this Act, all land compromises the territory of each state in the Federation are hereby vested in the governor of that state. So what is the senior advocate of Nigeria saying on this? They're saying that the issue is about the security of the state and the National Assemblies lack the legislative power to intervene.
well, let's the conversation still go on. Update from Nigeria on Star Radio UK Morning Show, the Tuesday edition. Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI in North London, Mr. Franklin is with me here in South London, where we are bringing you this program. But we'll go back to Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI for some of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, John.
The other story will be very, very interesting, as a lot of conversation is also going on that. Is it crazy that the Nigerian Navy base is now moved to Kano? I mean, you will expect a naval base to be very close to the water, but let's just hear the voice of some of the media in Nigeria in response to this.
Yes, it's back.
Yes, the naval base have been moved to Kano, but let us just hear the snip of part of what the media at home are responding to this as well.
Infrastructure should be distributed across the country. Well, you can put up that argument, but there are certain things that do not make sense. A naval base in the desert. It's only in Nigeria that I think that is possible.
Absolutely.
But Nigeria never fails to surprise you. Or rather, our leaders never fail to surprise us.
Before I take your comment, we'll take our final story so you can comment on both. In Katsina State, some Nigerians have thrown the governor of the state, Aminu Masari, under the bus after he signed an error-filled executive order. The executive order, which came into effect on Tuesday, was issued as part of efforts to address the security challenges in the state. In the executive order, the first blunder was the subject matter of the order, the title, which read, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1991, when in actual fact, the Federal Republic of Nigeria is governed by the 1999 Constitution. The executive order contained other blunders, including the spelling of Nigeria, which was written below the governor's signature as Nigeria. Many Nigerians have shared reactions. So I would love your comment on this particular subject before you talk about the naval issue.
Okay, I think Frank wants to say something. They have just come back to the studio again.
I said that if the person who signed we get it to spell of Nigeria wrong, Nigeria, it is a constitutional word.
Let's hear the view of one of these mainstream media, and then we'll quickly go into the headline.
What Nigeria, as they will call it, Nigeria.
I couldn't even pronounce it.
No,
What do you say?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay, good.
You see, incompetence is just everywhere. This is another brighter grammar moment. Incompetence is just everywhere, and there's nobody to double check it. If a common government dossier cannot be checked properly from errors, then what can be checked properly in this country? You are amazed at the level of incompetence, and we've become a gift that keeps giving every single time. We can't write a paper correctly, and we want to solve insecurity problem. And that's why we do things that we can't even account for. Good point you were talking about, Tundu, about naval bases in England. I had the chance of being in one in Plymouth. Plymouth is like an ocean, big body of water. That's where you have naval bases. But here, we didn't see the Niger Delta. There's a naval base in Sapele, close to the water. It's just very close to where the power station is in Sapele. I've been to that one too. You didn't see all the body of water in Bayelsa. You now take it all the way to the north. And when the people of the Niger Delta are complaining that they are marginalized, you say, how are they marginalized? So we'll go and dig up water in Kano now to form naval base all of a sudden.
So I just leave it there. So at least you've got the reaction of even some of the reporters at home, in terms of moving a naval base to Kano, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will be looking into that. So we're going to go straight to some of the other headlines, and I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. It is still Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station. I could see live from Abuja. The 4th annual banking and finance conference is already going on as I speak right now, and I could see the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria currently, speaking. So we leave that. Also, police undermining investigation of a rape victim coalition alleges as well. The governor of Oyo State, Makinde, his own 2023 presidential campaign, and likewise, we did talk about that yesterday. Twitter ban, Nigeria loses $360 million revenue within 100 days as well. Also, prominent Edo PDP chieftains and 2 others have been kidnapped. So kidnapping is still a very big business. And I was looking at a report that I also was going to talk about quickly, where someone have looked at a research. And what is the research all about in terms of, you could easily be making 20,000 naira. I'll give the equivalent of what that means when you can move in weapons, AK-47, for the bandits, especially in Zamfara State. So this particular individual I've done the research for the last 10 years, and yeah, I've got it here. 20,000 naira, to transport AK-47, 5,000 naira to transport ammunition inside account of the banditry business in Zamfara State. So let's talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to come back to you in the studio. It's 11:43. According to Mutar Rufai, a lecturer at the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, says, according to 10 years research he conducted on the banditry in Zamfara, people make money from transporting arms. In his report titled, I Am a Bandit, a decade of research on the armed banditry in Zamfara State, Rufai says studies have shown that there are over 60,000 weapons in circulation in the Northwest. He said weapons like anti-craft guns, rocket propeller, grenade tubes, general purpose machine gun, AK-47, AK-49, Jury-3 magazines, and among others were found across different bandit camps in the state. According to Rufai, he conducted interview with bandits and also visited some areas across the state, having the gunmen generated income through arms trading, while significant percentage of such funds are spent on drugs, women, betting, phones, and other goods. So this now tells that, when we talk about, guns are available, it is not just only because of that. Most argument on the source of the weapons revolve around the porous borders, thesis, and inability of security to man over 1,950 official borders that we have in the country. Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and I'll come back again to you slightly in the studio. But when we talk about 20,000 naira, as at the exchange rate this morning, which is about 7.45, well, give and take, I would say that is just about almost 27 pounds.
Well, listeners, some business listen for you. The 20,000 naira to transport AK-47 and the 5,000 naira to transport ammunition. Some business. But Olayomi Ayola says that never base in the desert. That's crazy. Well, very, very crazy.
No, it cannot be crazy. It cannot be crazy.
They might have.
Look, we know in the Arabs.
Yeah.
What
Dubai.
When they created their own water. We know canals are created. So who knows? They might be creating a canal. Yeah.
That money that they are spending to create that canal.
They might be creating a canal. They might be getting the steel from somewhere in Cameroon or somewhere probably from the south. There could be pipes. There could be very huge pipes that are dropped.
Well, it's just the same thing that the oil refinery was taken all the way from Niger to Kaduna, and then they have to transport the crude oil from the Niger Delta back to Kaduna, even though the refinery is not functioning properly. And the transportation system academy was moved to Castina as well in Daura. And the question is, are they going to be using camel for transporting, or what kind of training they'll be having there? So you can tell that.
I don't know how they what we're going to have submarine fighting the Boko Haram. Yeah. You know them creating something like desert rats. Yeah. It's similar to desert rats. When they train people. They're going to use this. You don't know. Why fly, bro? I think one people from geology tells us that there's water in them everywhere. So probably they're going to dig down and use submarine to attack them. Yeah. Okay. We hear you. I'm going to be happy with them. Let's give it a clap. And then Prince Adebanjo Israel Gani says good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you as well. Sarah in the UK, update from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomiko Koiki and Mr. Frank Davis here as well. Now, Yomi, let's come to you for the final segment of the update. Over to you.
We just go straight to Twitter, and bandits set home of Zamfara speaker ablaze. This is also coming just right now in Zuma local government. The bandits, they're called bandits, but we call them terrorists. Bandits set home of the Zamfara speaker ablaze. I'm sure it's getting there as we speak. Let's look at some of the other news that is trending out of Nigeria on Twitter this morning. $390 million dollars is what Nigeria has lost in the last 100 days of the Twitter ban that is currently been taking place as well. Also, I'm just looking at these some of the other headline. Even though, okay, I'll take that again. We have collectively defeated our distractions, and IPOB have started trending as number one. It seems, a lot of Biafran tend to use, the Twitter very well. No movement tomorrow, Tuesday, 14th of September. Sit at home. That is coming up from the Twitter handle. Also, from Ifafunsho, the Twitter ban under Buhari's government extended to 100 days, and in that time frame, Nigeria has lost 247 billion. We take the last one. And to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to release him is a danger. To keep him in DSS custody is more dangerous. To keep him is like to pour fuel on already burning fire. And you know what? It will cost now the Nigerian government and the Igbo political leader are like, what can we do? With a question mark.
Now, a quick one. Frank, let's look at this, the Twitter ban and how much it cost Nigeria as well. 147 billion. As to whether it's working or not, I remember when some of our correspondents were there, they were using that. They were still using Twitter. So actually, you cannot place it. Meanwhile, you are causing financial loss to the country.
Well, that is what politicians want to do. What it's about, the way they fuel jet,
yeah.
All the leaders and the people who have egos, and everything that fuels their egos, they go for it. I think it's madness anyway. I mean, to think of what they are doing, but it doesn't affect them. It's not their personal money. Every something like that, you cause financial loss, that is from your end of service benefits. I think that link, any financial loss that you cause, should be deducted. And if you cannot pay all, take your asset, they will begin to think. But actually, see, my final take on what is happening in Nigeria is this House of Representatives, House that has been set up.
Yeah.
There's a saying, when they come for people that you think are a distance away, they notice the room and the bed story. That scenario, when the bed was shouting, screaming, the Southerners are screaming. People who have been kidnapped are screaming. And you sit there and think, look,
just shut up. There's nothing happening.
Let's get a break. Never a day as a speaker has been said that, look, this is a state of emergency that we must declare in our part of the country. That in some far over here, we are suffering from terrorists and bandits. Now your house has been set up.
Reality have set in. Well, listeners, continue to send your messages through as we do it. We promise you that we will be reading that. But Yomi, before you go,
6 Nigerians among the 38 individuals enlisted by the United Arab Emirates on terrorism watch list. Stay tuned with Star Radio UK tomorrow. We'll be discussing more on all the activities of terrorism in Nigeria. Who is a loser and who is the gainer of these crime against humanity? But don't touch the dial because you still have Frank and Archie to take you through the rest of the program this afternoon.
Okay, Yomi, thank you very much. Have a lovely day. We'll catch up later.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well, listeners, it is Start Radio UK. That was Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI bringing you updates from Nigeria. We've discussed a lot there.
Bye-bye. Well, listeners, it is Start Radio UK. That was Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI bringing you updates from Nigeria. We've discussed a lot there. But you want to maybe input or whatever you want to do, feel free to do so. The lines will be opened in the next 9 minutes for you to do so as well. But until then, if you want to put it on our Facebook page, I promise I'm going to read it. You want to text or send me.
Jìnnà sí wọn bí sọmọ sílẹ̀ o.